Observer the bomb, the only one for me. Over and over, I tell you this every day that me a read. Hey yo, this is Sean Paul, the girls I'm overall alive and living Scotch, and you are checking out the vibes of 33 questions.
We are live and living on season 2 of 33 questions with Jamaica Observer, and today, to start our season, we have a legend here with us, and I'm just going to allow you to tell him his name in case you don't know it.
Yeah, Sean Paul, big up.
Yes. Alright, so Mr. Sean Paul, we are going to get right into the questions.
Yeah.
And the first question I have for you is, I know you're probably asked this question a lot, but I still want to ask how you and your team has managed to do it for so long, to be relevant for so many years. Give us the secret.
No secret, just work hard and try hard, man. Any obstacle coming our way, just get over it, get around it, get through it. As you see, like we outside. I've never really had a base in terms of a studio like this up until about 2017, my own studio. So we as a team had been doing it by phone, meeting in different offices and whatever. So it might seem to the outside circle, that is a thing, but we're just trying hard, and anything that comes, just try to get through it. So rhythm-wise, stage show-wise, styling-wise, publicity-wise, all those things that have been done for me have been done through the team, and putting albums together, songs together, that kind of thing. We all collaborate. I do most of my writing, but just try hard, man. Just keep on going. There's a lot of times I step my foot down and there's nothing there. Like in Give Me the Light video, there was nothing there, and I said boom, and the ground light up, and the concept in that video was like, yo, just have faith. It was a reflection of how me and my whole team kind of move. Have faith in what you're doing, respect what you're doing, and also believe in it, you know what I mean?
Believe in yourself as
the
power of the team.
Yeah.
Alright, so what I forgot to mention is it's Sean Paul Henriquez OD. So tell me about that.
Yeah.
Being notified that you're going to be getting an award of distinction and the whole process and collecting of the award.
So honor, man. You see people that you revere year to year be honored, and you wonder how they got there in their life, how much steps that took. And when it happened to me, it was really surreal, or for me, just like unbelievable. There's a lot of things in life that has changed. Where like back in 20 years ago or more, maybe somebody like me wouldn't be considered, or even before that. People who DJ for a living or go and entertain.
Think of them getting
exactly.
Somebody probably go fight for the country or
exactly.
save that baby out
That's
of the river.
what I'm trying to say. So I mean, artists, they get the glorification or the instant gratification on stage, and when people like to song them. But when people like myself, like there's Shaggy and a couple others, have been given that honor, it shows that that society has changed for the better in that respect, at least in terms of people who are artists can get more than just a little accolades here and there when you work hard and you do the steps, and I felt proud. I mean, my mom's and my family was there.
Great experience.
Yeah, good vibes. Yeah.
I know this probably happened a lot, but tell me a time when music brought you through, like you're down and you say, yo, I'm down bad. Like, and probably one of your songs or another song from somebody else would have been the light that you need, just the light.
Yeah, man. A lot of times, music, not just my own. When I discovered I could, write my own music and start producing and stuff, that was a whole upliftment in itself. But and I've always leaned on my career, even when when there's any bad times or whatever. But before, I can remember, father going to prison. I can remember many different times in life where you were unsure of certain things, of how the future would end up for you or for the people that you love. And music has always been an outlet. I can't name one song, I mean, from Seal to a Miley Cyrus, from Bob Marley
what's
to.
your favorite Miley Cyrus song?
I guess it would be the Wrecking Ball one.
You can probably sing.
She said she called me like a wrecking ball. Yeah, it's fun. But you know, I mean, what I'm saying is it's like a whole heap of tune, from Bob Marley to ABBA. It's like there's so much different tunes that I find enjoyment in. And even as a kid, I didn't love calypso music, but I got into soca music growing up. So there's always space for things that you don't like, or that your palate can't take. And so music is an evolving thing, and it helps me day to day, bro. Day to day.
All right. Did you always want to be an artist? Tell me about that moment in your life when you say, yo, I can do, I have a little talent in me, I can do a thing.
It's funny because as a kid, I always was saying to like, you know, when you talk with yourself, you talk with God, you talk, and you say, boy, something big, there for me, you know, feel it. Don't know what it is. And I used to say, God, just make it go on, man. Anything, I just gotta keep patient. That was a word I would use a lot in prayer. I feel something big, but I just gotta keep patient. I'm not going to overdo it.
And have faith.
And have
they
faith.
do go together.
Exactly. And so, I can remember one time at the stadium pool, I used to swim. I jump out the water and I used to swim for Jamaica. So way down the next side was a brethren. I was like, yo! I shout out to him, and his father was there, which is a good friend of our family. And his father come to me and said, bro, you have a big voice, you know? That voice like reach, wake up, and breeze a blow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was like, Zine, and I kind of started to dabble in wanting to be a producer.
Okay.
And then by the time I was about 17 or 19, I started writing rhymes and saying, all right, this is what I think I want to do. So it was about age 17, but it's a gradual thing. It wasn't like a one epiphany moment, like you like, boom, oh, this is
like
for me.
Like a light
nah.
over your head.
Yeah, but patience was a thing for me still.
Patience and faith.
Yeah, you have to know that not every step is going to lead to something. Like I really thought I would be an Olympic swimmer. My mom taught my coach and trained my coach as a kid. She used to swim for Jamaica, and my father and my aunt.
Oh, wow, you're from
yeah, the whole of the family used to swim in the 50s, 60s. And so by the time I was around in the late 80s and early 90s swimming, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the Olympics. That was my dream. And
Michael Phelps.
yeah, and I was being patient for that, but it just didn't happen. I didn't have, you know, I had great times for here, but going over there. So my focus changed and my dreams changed. And you have to be able to identify that and understand that as a young person coming up. There's many times like my son say, Dad, you know what my dream is? I say, what? I'm saying, I want to be a wolf. I'm like,
yeah, the last interview.
That's kind of
him. He wanted to be a Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, because I tell him say anything he want to be, him can be, and him just have to pray about it. So he might talk about wolf, and I was like, bro, you can't be a wolf. And he was like, but you say anything, you say. I was like, yeah, but I have to kind of teach him that rule to like the switching, like the switching of focus. Because each step, so that swimming focus made me disciplined enough to be able to do anything business-wise I want. Because even though it's not a physical training thing, it's a mental thing. See?
Mental training is in every thing that we do.
Definitely.
What is the name of the first song that you wrote? And I don't mean like the first song you released.
Yeah.
But when you
first
just
time I wrote?
Yeah, about 17 there, about
yeah.
started to write the rhymes.
The first song that I wrote was like a 3-verse song, and it was way too long. It's called Ghetto Story. So it was about the social, how do I say, the discrepancy, what you call that? The hierarchy and how things stay in the country.
Yeah, the structure.
Yeah. So it was like, it's an alarm, this it a they get a story. Read about it in the Star and watch it on TV. Alarm, this it a they get a story. You read it in the magazine and watch it on movie. Mama, she about to, she well hungry. She only have enough money to feed the picking. She send Steve and Johnny fi go find them daddy. But daddy him junk and freaky, them have to walk on the road and beg for money. While the rich man of town are dealing US currency is an alarm, this they get a story. Read about it in the Star and watch it. So big up Big up Observer, even though I'm saying star.
Yeah.
but
We're all
but
friends here.
yeah, I was like 17 at the time, and it was to me like it's out of many one. It's one Jamaica, but there's too much different little cliques and stuff. So most of my first kind of rhymes was more conscious about that. I was very inspired by Bob Marley and people like Buju Banton, Tony Rebel, and I used to do that. You know what I mean? That was my first type of lyrics. In school, I have a next tune where we kind of.
Yeah, that one here. Before you get so talented.
Well, that one was like a break off of one of Lieutenant Stitchy tune. So he had a tune say, man enough aware of it, man enough of dress. So my one was man enough aware turtleneck. So I say, man enough aware turtleneck. If a woman don't know I run check. Now man enough aware, man enough aware, man enough aware turtleneck. Now in this hard country Jamaica, man can have time for wear them sweater, a long shot, juke up in a neck corner. But to them boy they you think it matter, them boy they love to wear turtleneck, but as they make a walk them wet with sweat. Follow me? Man enough so
wait,
it was funny. I do it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that's where they even wear it in a video. So to tell the truth, yeah, I grew up. Cause at that time I was like, nah, we're gonna take if we wear a turtleneck, a Ryan shirt, man, I wear. You see me? It was kind of funny because back in those days we used to wear Rayon shirts a lot. Colorful shirt with, maybe. So yeah, those were the two first little lyrics at the time, and as I said, one was a takeoff of a Stitchy tune, and then the next one was kind of more oriented to the whole.
What was happening in Jamaica?
Yeah, and also the style too, the whole Buju Banton and like Mega Banton style and those kind of melodies I was using in there. Yeah.
With that being said, who are some of the artists that were before you that you looked up to when creating your style or?
Super Cat, Shabba Ranks, Papa San, Major Worries. A lot of people in a younger generation might not know Major Worries. You can find him on YouTube. A lot of sound cassettes is the best way to hear him, I find. Like when he went to dances and DJ, there's some footage of him too. Major Worries was a major influence as to the style and how he used to chop things up and do it. So for me, those four was the nucleus, and then hip hop artists such as Slick Rick, Run DMC, LL Cool J. Yeah, used to look to them. So if you see my time, my music was like early 80s. That influenced me and inspired me to do what I do today.
What would you say is your style though, your music style? What kind of artist would you say you are? Reggae, dancehall, hip hop, what? I'm
a dancehall artist, for me. I mean, other people would have called me a pop artist. Some people say me a secular pop artist, or some people say I'm breaking off into reggaeton because I've done 2 songs that are popular. But yeah, for me, I'm a dancehall artist, and with each step that dancehall takes to evolve and change and turn different, there are critics and people like when Shabba Ranks came around, it was always slackness, and people used to criticize him as being a slack person. And then he came and showed how versatile and thing he was. So that showed me that you can expand the barriers of what people think you are or the box that they put you in and evolve. So I decided to take dancehall or my dancehall on a path where it followed what was happening internationally, since I had garnered so much international respect or fellowship then. So like by the time Temperature was around, that was 2006, #1 song, all of those things was happening, and then I started to feel and see the shift of people moving away from dancehall being the most popular music on earth. When you look on it, people like Beyonce, R. Kelly, Keisha Cole, all of them was doing it, dabbling in it. And those were big, huge artists around the world at the time. And then it started to be a trend where it was more poppy and dance music oriented. And I decided to infuse those musics with what I was doing to keep that audience. So yeah, it's a process. So for me, it's dancehall, and I return back to roots when I do to the root of what I feel is dancehall. When I do work with people like Dan Carleone or Jordan or TJ producers out here, that Steve McGregor. So there are songs that I've had like that over the years, but lately the last project was Live and Living, came out early last year, and for me, I feel I have the artistic freedom to be able to do more hardcore or authentic dancehall songs, and then do some of that pop stuff or whatever is banging out there too. You know, as a popular artist, people don't do that side.
I think that has a lot. No, that's fine. I think that has a lot to do with the first question I asked you in regards to your relevance over the years.
Yeah.
Because you are not afraid to step outside of what you're used to. Because at the end of the day, you will come back to your roots.
Yeah.
But you give the audience what they want, as long as it works with you.
And I feel so it's important for younger artists to just pay attention to that root first. Like if I first started out and did a lot of hip hop or a lot of R&B type sounding singles that with the intention or the idea to reach foreign, I don't think it would have worked as good as. And that's authentic to hear. And when I go to Egypt, I want to hear that hand something there. And you know what I mean? With people playing on the music and a certain type of drums and when I go to Africa or Australia, I want to hear the dudes. What name? Didgeridoo, yeah. I want to hear that in them music. I want to reflect where they're from. So when people hear a Jamaican artist,
It's supposed to sound Jamaican.
Yeah, they don't want to necessarily hear something that's sounding kind of like what other people is doing abroad. So
it's about authenticity.
And paying attention to your culture and adding to it.
So it's about evolution as opposed to reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. It's never been about, bam, this is how I look now. So it took time for me to get that more out there. It was a decision, you know what I mean? It wasn't like
was that phase?
Yeah, it was like, yo, I'm tired of these braids. What am I gonna do? I don't want to shave off my head back. So let me try shit. And I was shaving off my head and the more I just sprung up and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave this. I'm making enough people vex, but I'm gonna just do that. Yeah. And the whole album at that time was called Tomahawk Technique. I was cut and clearing from what was the root of what I was taught of dancehall, and I was making it pop-oriented and dance music-oriented, and just cutting root a little bit in terms of to get free. So for young artists, for me, stay to the root. Put your spin on what our culture is, and then when you become popular in that culture, leave space for the other younger ones them to do it. And you can start experiment. That's how I feel I've done it.
What is your thought process though when you're making a song? The first thing that comes to your mind. So I don't know if you listen to the instrumental, then make a song, or you have lyrics in your head and then you put music to it. So what is the thought process for you in that?
There's both, but in the earlier years it was more I have these lyrics and I want to put it on any rhythm. And then over time you start realizing that lyrics don't fit on every rhythm. And you have to kind of patent it to that rhythm. And you start getting used to, so when the rhythm are going to tell me what to send out then. So the rhythm, the mood of the rhythm. Sometimes
because
I hear...
Because vibe and know you know what you want to...
Exactly.
What you want people to feel.
Sometimes I hear a rhythm and it might feel like two different, but like I can hear a badness or a more reality type deeper thing on it. Or I can hear, some fun stuff on it. So, or romantic stuff. So, it's always a mood of the rhythm going to tell me nowadays what it is to sing. I do get lyrics and things, but I don't really try to cement it and say build a song around that all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes though.
What was the hardest song for you guys to produce or record?
Hardest tune. Yeah.
Like in the beginning, I probably say Jano and This Worth It kind of vibe.
There's been many. There's been a lot. There's sometimes we're going out of the box a lot, and I'm like, boy.
Sure this will work?
Yeah, so for me, one of those really doubtful moments for me was She Doesn't Mind. At the time, there was people singing these very pretty hooks, and it was for a lot of pop music. And when the producer them played the rhythm for me, I was like, oh, the rhythm's sweet. And then they were like, we have a hook where brother write and want to see if you would do it. He plays it, and I'm like, he didn't, all right, let me just sing it as a demo. And, and then after a certain time, it's like, about 2 days later, I'm calling back the producer like, bro, me don't want this come out with me, like, who you getting to sing it? And he said, it's you. I'm like, bro, me don't want to sing the song there, like, you're going to kill my career. I'm singing in falsetto, you know what I mean? But everybody that heard it, other than...
All different you.
Yeah, other than my doubts, everybody that heard it gave me a thumbs up, said, yo, this is dope. Never hear it like this yet. So I left it, but it was a real doubtful moment, and there was quite a few moments in that time I was going through, like just doubt about how it sounded, if I was making dancehall sound too pretty. But at the end, you know,
it's all about the evolution.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
How do you manage your family life, career life? Because I know you're super busy.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't Corona right now, we probably wouldn't be having this interview because
you know, that's the thing. Corona gave me the chance for actually have a deeper family life, in terms of I've always been there from, you know, my wife and my kids. But I mean, 3 days after my son was born, I was out on tour again, you know, back and forth. So it's been a weird thing to balance, but you have to have a spouse where you have to have a
understanding.
Yeah, I mean, and there's times where we do get into each other's way, and there's times where you just have to kind of say, boy, all right, is either this is going to turn on a big war, but that's not what I want, and you weigh the balance, and you say, what would this big war do, or what would it be if I kind of talk about it, go around it, as usual.
Especially with kids.
It's an obstacle, yeah. I want to do it for my kids. My pops wasn't able to be there for me all the time, and so because of the touring for me, it feels like that as well. And this pandemic has given me a lot of time with my two kids, so I've been appreciative of it.
Especially because they're young as well, and you want to be there for the foundation.
The first 5 years important. Yeah. So anyway, touring coming back up, and that's going to be a difficult thing, but yeah.
Which leads me to also ask the question, how has your family impacted your career?
Oh, very deeply. My mother is the person who introduced me to a lot of early music. The Beatles, Cat Stevens. These are people who are balladeers and hit makers, and people who have a lot of great melodies and topics of songs. And she liked every popular music coming up. Like, she would always be playing a popular cassette in her car.
In essence, you're kind of set for this.
Yeah, my mom's, my aunt she still owns a discotheque, a sound system. Guys, a disco called Sparkles Disco, and it usually plays more at carnival events. But they used to have parties at my house when I was a kid. So about 11 years old, I was helping to lift box and set up the bar. And no, I think the bar should go over there so it easy for people. So them type of thing there was. Yeah, them type of thing that was creeping up, you know, as a kid.
What would you say is your pre-show routine? Like, you go up on stage, you know, what you think about, like, what's going through your head?
Freeness.
And also how you...
Freeness. Free
how do you choose your songs, though, in regards to...
I will go through it with the DJ a lot. Sean Anderson, Kappa Sean, producer and DJ for me over the years, has been a great help. I mean, from, you know, when I first started DJ, my brother and him were in second farm at Campion, and they started a sound system. And I couldn't believe how good they were, because I could have mixed and scratch and thing a little bit, but they were like doing it in front of people and a chat per mic and a bus place, and I was like, whoa, Kappa Shot sound system. So a lot of times where I'm unsure of how to present the show or whatever, I'll go over it with him. As you can hear him play on the radio right now, and he have a great set every day. So big up Sean. And most times that's with him, but when he's not there, I do know what to do. Like, I've been in other impromptu performances, just a DJ, and I'm like, give me them 5 something, because I know I said that's hot, and that way, you know, do it for the crowd.
What is your daily routine like? Like, you wake up?
I'm not really
a
routine person, but I'm a habit person. So I don't have a routine where I wake up at this time every day, but I have good habits. I exercise, I try to get that amount of sleep that you're supposed to. I try. And them type of things. So my day is filled with looking about trying to eat the proper way, and looking towards doing music in a free sense. Like, I don't have a plan like, oh, today I'm definitely going to make a song about this or that, or I'm going to voice a song today. It's when the vibe catch me. So it's kind of like hunting or fishing, zine, because you're out there and you don't know what going hook, but you're having the patience and the faith again, and you're putting in that work where that's time. You know what I mean? So there's no time where I'm forcing the work. I'm just kind of thinking, all right, today, catch a good vibe, and that will translate into the songs. Yeah.
All right. Advice to new artists in COVID. Hasn't probably had the opportunity to do a lot of stuff based on COVID. New artists just coming out on the scene, probably very frustrated. What would you say?
Yeah. You know, hold firm. As I keep saying in this interview, patience is a big part of success. I think that when I first became popular in Jamaican music and I started to see other popular artists, Vegas, I work with them, you know, Mr. Vegas, Elephant Man, Baby Sham, Roundhead, and the whole Monster Shack crew. When I realized the amount of work that we all put in, I said, boy, people might not know it, and they might think artists as being very arrogant and braggadocious, but we are some of the most patient people. When you see an artist, yeah man, it's the time that is spent. When you hear 4 songs out there, you know, it probably take that person 3 years to make the links, to get to stand up in the studio, to get to just sit there and wait his turn. So those are things that you have to pay attention to. Now there's COVID time, but you have the internet. You have an ability to be able to produce yourself. There's big artists doing that right now. Holy zine. So that's an important thing to pay attention to. However, learn from the root as much as you can. Look at these videos of all the greats. Listen to the songs of all the greats. From dancehall world and others. Do your research, do your homework, because this music thing is about you adding to that. Anybody can be, yeah, you can be the most talented lyricist to put together lyrics or whatever. If you don't understand where music is at right now, like I know people that make great, amazing music, but it sounds like the 60s. It sounds like something that
has already been done.
Yes, and so you have to know where music is at right now, and you know, you borrow from the past, but then you push it in your way. And so, like as I said, I took it to a more pop level. I didn't go hardcore dancehall, so to speak. I went authentic dancehall, but not hardcore. And my niche was to push a more pop or popular type of attitude to what dancehall
already was.
Yeah.
So now that we're in Reggae Month, it's February, we're celebrating Reggae this whole month.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what more do you think we can do as a country, on a person-to-person level, a citizen level, and as a government level, to promote reggae? So do you think we need to have more concerts, more information about our past? What do you think we can do to make it a bigger thing?
Quite a few things. First of all, the culture has been squeezed. When you talk about culture, you talk about just the natural levity of people in that area. And that evolved to be, you know, from Mentaya to scat to rocksteady to rubber dub to reggae to dancehall music, which has the reggae and dancehall music has evolved and has influenced so much different types of genres all over the world, you know. So when you try to curtail what has naturally come up, or try to stop it from happening, such as, you know, just for me, simply dancehall jugglings.
Yeah.
It's a natural phenomenon that came up.
So it can't be contained in essence.
No, producers started to do that because of economic and whatever, and then we as a people started to love Louis Culture tune pan there, and I love Beenie Man tune pan there as well. I love the 2 song them pan that rhythm, or I love 5 of them song them. I love the whole Pepper Seed rhythm. It's dope. When things like that started to happen, and then we as business executives or as, you know, political people come in and try to stop it from happening, that to me is a bad thing. Like stopping jugglings from happening or stopping dances from going on in certain area because of the noise factor. I get it, but it's a part of the culture that you didn't stop in the first part, and it evolved to the point now. It evolved to the point now where it's a part of us, and you're trying to carve it out of us. It's like we have a nose, and you try to cut it off. You see me? And that is to spite your face. Trust me. So music evolved into that way. I don't say that we have to contain it. I think that we're trying to do too much containing without letting it be free. Other than that, other than that, we need to teach history of our music to the kids in school because it's that important. It's that important. When you go anywhere in the world, people know the music, they know Bob Marley, they know certain key players. I think Bob Marley should be made a national hero. I think he should be put on the money. Seeing being that he's the artist of the century, of the century, and comes from such a place and reveres the works of such great people like Marcus Garvey, and has helped to push a culture of and a whole belief of Rastafarianism all over the world. I think that he should be revered in that spot. I also think that, you know, where I see Ocho Rios have a little village down at the front there where the Rick's Cap, where I think it's a little fisherman village there, and then put some shops and stuff like that. I think that Jamaica's waterfront, in Kingston's waterfront, could be something that helps to elevate our music to a great level.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of abandoned buildings down there and people buying it up for, you know, some don't have no purpose. And I've read books about the 60s, about Bob Marley's life back then too. And that strip was the hip strip of the 60s in the Caribbean. It was the Times Square of the Caribbean. And it might not seem like a lot to people, but wherever I've been, where there's a great waterfront, in any French territory, from France itself, where it's down by the south of France, they have a lot of beaches. Yeah. Then you go to places like Martinique, which is French, or Tahiti, which is still French. They have a thing where they set up them waterfront in a way where it works for everybody involved. So you have the shop, them or the business place, then the road, and the jogging part, the bicycle part, the beach. And all of that work together.
All in one.
Yeah, and when you go there, there's so much buzzing things happening. So for me, we brought a big cruise ship down to Kingston Harbor a year or so ago. That's great. But I think that we could have, you know, Skakana, Reggae Road, Dancehall Boulevard, or Dancehall Drive, you know what I mean? Mentor Yard Boulevard. So these are things I've said to politicians and I've said to big businessmen to develop that area. Yeah, where when that person comes out for the spaceship, when that person come out for the cruise ship, yeah, and take a ferry cross and go, so I want to see 1960 in Jamaica. You're going to go around there, you're going to see Bellfoot Pants, you're going to have all kind of different restaurant and bar. That, yeah, you're going to see people with Afro, you're going to hear that music. You're going to have once a month or where the key players from there being able to have shows there with a whole cruise ship of people. That's what I think this government can do to expand and help. There, you wouldn't have to have, you know, people like Jimmy Cliff, who is older now, or third world, tour in the world. You can have a whole week for them, or the Reggae Month, you have the whole something going on, you know, where it's like.
Because there's a lot of stuff we can do.
Of course, and there's how much years of representation from ska to, as I said, reggae, rocksteady. You can have so much different things that would bring people there. I've been to Bahamas where there's so much tourists walk there that them sidewalk actually walk down. So much people walk on that sidewalk. There's millions of people that walk there every day. That the sidewalk kind of bending. We don't have that. We don't have enough tourists that come on. And for tourism to be one of the biggest players and also music in our economic status, they should be put together and they could help each other to just uplift the country in a big way. A lot of jobs are needed. We don't have no factories no more. So when you see our culture naturally showing people say, this is what we love, this is what we like, I think
this is what we are.
This is what we are. I think we should invest in that. and
So it's
show
really the packaging.
people. Yeah, for me.
Because we do have the tourists, we have the persons.
Yeah, but not enough. Not enough. I mean, you see the tourists come and they go on the the resorts in the countryside and whatever.
We're not really seeing the authentic Jamaica.
No, yeah, you have people that love dancehall and they will come to Bossy Chooses or Weddy, and they will check it out. This is mainly, you will see a couple European, but a lot of Japanese. I want it where everybody feels safe to come say, yo, if you forgot check out, what Rocksteady was all about. Let me go there and see actually people who was in that vibe and wrote songs and they're singing a song or doing a concert right there in the street, and it's all being paid for because of these tourists who want to come and see it. They want it, you know what I mean? And we need to provide it for them. Yeah, we need to provide it for them. The whole of Port Royal there and the whole of downtown Kingston is there to accept and receive all of that. I think it's a big miss out that we're doing. Yeah, so all those things can help music in Jamaica.
Beach or river?
On the hard, but beach.
Country or city life?
Yo, you catch me around there. All right, city life.
Sneakers, jegs, or sandals?
Sneakers, definitely.
Something you can't leave your home without?
I guess my phone at this point, yeah.
3 items that have to be in your fridge at all times?
3 items that have to be in my fridge at all times. Water, orange juice for the kids, and then some natural juice, either lime juice or coconut water or something like that for me. June plum, them something there. Yeah.
Sing the first line of Give Me the Light in standard English. First 2 lines.
In standard English?
Yes.
Would you mind giving me the light and pass the Yeah, just give me the light. I don't know. That's what I came up with.
Oh, my bad. Favorite emoji?
Favorite emoji? I think it's the praying hand them use a lot with the fire in the middle. Because in the scriptures it say, I'm gonna get real fool and on and on. When 2 or more people pray about one subject in Jesus' name, it's supposed to come true, you know what I mean? So the 2 praying hand them with the flame in the middle represent the spirit.
You know that's a high five, right?
The 2 praying hand them?
It's a myth that it's a high five.
These? Yeah, but me call it praying hand. That's what I use it for. No business. Yo, me nah make no pharma technology control me, you know. That's what I want to do, you know, bro. Yeah.
Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? I guess beer. Yeah.
A movie that made you cry?
Movie that made me cry. Okay, I guess Schindler's List was one of them movies where it brought tears to my eye. Yeah.
Favorite country to visit?
Favorite country to visit? United States.
Greatest joy of fatherhood?
Seeing yourself in your kids' eyes is the greatest joy for me. You know?
We Be Burning or Just Give Me the Light? Perfect.
We Be Burning, cause Just Give Me the Light, my desperate feet. Like I already built my spliff and somebody else, but so We Be Burning, cause that mean I'm blazing.
So you've gotten the light.
Yeah, is it?
1 billion YouTube's views or 1 billion Pandora or Spotify streams?
Oh. Yeah, Pandora and Spotify, as I'm saying, because the streaming thing, you know, it makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
It make dollars too.
That was 33 Questions with Jamaica Observer, and we are live and living with Sean Paul here at Dirty Rock. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow him on all his social media handles at Dirty Paul.